going to go over the agenda here and assign all the things. Seems like you'll do call, or I'll do call to order, I guess. Who would like to do prayer?
I'll do that.
Thank you. And the pledge.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Okay, here we go, City Clerk, roll call, see you. All right,
I'm on it.
then we have minutes, look those over if you haven't already, but then we'll approve the regular agenda. Public comment. We've got several ordinances tonight, which you guys know can either be first reading or second reading. We'll get to those we can discuss. The first is a proclamation declaring wreaths across America. Councilman Miller, will you take that?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Thank you. Next is the ordinance to establish a city mural ordinance. So who would like to take that?
Go ahead. I'll take it.
Okay, thank you. And again, it will take suspension of the rules to vote on it tonight if there is not. Does anyone have any problem voting on it tonight for first and second reading, suspending the rules? We can talk about it here in a workshop, and then we don't even have to call for it. We can just call it a first reading if anybody. Hearing nothing, okay, that sounds great. Ordinance to declare certain IDA property surplus and approve its sale to be for development. Who's our IDA lady? Oh, okay, yeah. Do you mind taking
Is this where we say that we're going to consider this a first reading, or is this?
You can. We'll just consider that one.
If you want to consider it a first reading, it's automatically considered a first reading.
Yeah, for stuff like this, Madam President, every time we're selling property or we're buying property, I want to have two readings. I don't have one reading.
Okay, that's heard. Okay,
so I'll always be a no for a suspension of the rules for those things.
Good to know. Thank you.
Council President.
Yes.
Council Miller, I get where you stand on this. There may be situations where I wouldn't, if you would keep an open mind as it relates to that, there may be some situations on the economic development land sale side that requires that. So just rather than saying always, if you would just keep an open mind, there may be a time where I have to ask, and if you still feel a no is necessary based on the circumstances, I respect that. I just want to.
No, I agree, Mr. Mayor. I will always keep an open mind on everything. But when we are selling something or we're buying something, that to me, that's the citizens' money. That's not our money. And so I want to give them more than just 1 week to look at it and give them more time to come back to me. Now, like this one, I'll always reach out to you and just say, what is our timeline on this?
Okay.
But I also trust you enough to know that we will have this stuff before us with enough time to give a 2-week window. If I'm saying that now, that I know you'll make sure we have enough time to do that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Great, that sounds good. And so, Councilor Farr, you will, when you make the motion for this, you will just say it's a first reading. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, next is an ordinance to annex 4380 Valley Road, also an ordinance. Who would like to take this?
Council President, I'll take that one, please.
Okay, thank you. Any concern on this one to do suspension of the rules first and second reading? Okay, nothing heard. Great. Thank you so much. Next is a resolution to vacate a temporary construction easement on Husky Parkway.
Council President, I'll take that one as well.
Thank you. And Mayor, can you talk to us about that, please?
This is we're seeing more and more of these. JR, you checked this one. We're good on this one from your perspective.
Yes.
They've fulfilled all their requirements, and we're good to do this.
Yes, we are.
All right. JR says we're good. I trust his judgment on this.
Okay, JR, what is this? This is we're just turning it over to the builders.
When we built the Husky Parkway along, we had this
2006. Some housekeeping from that.
So it's just housekeeping of giving that property back to the adjacent property owner.
Nice. Okay, good. All right.
And there will be some more of these as we work through some old files.
Cleaning it up. Okay, great. Thank you, Councilor Jackson. Next, we have a resolution to declare various library assets surplus.
Council President, I'll take that one.
So usually we would give it to the library.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that you're no longer on the library board.
No
I
worries.
apologize.
Yes. No worries at all. No worries at all.
I'll let Kimberly take that one.
I'm happy to check that one.
Thank you. No, that's true. And I sometimes forget that I can't take these, right? I want to write my name next to them, and I cannot take them. Okay, and next we have resolution to declare Inspections Department vehicle as surplus.
I'll take that one, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Who has inspections?
Yeah, it's good. Share the love.
Okay, great.
And then,
So that was Miller who said I'll take that, right?
Yes, that was-
Councilman Miller, okay, great.
That's President.
Okay. Public hearing regarding proposed vacation of an undeveloped segment of Aniston Avenue and related rights of way. Mayor, could you talk to us about this one?
Sure. This particular property's come before us before. There's a lot of moving parts related to it with some old maps that we're trying to clean up. So this was an annexation into the city, and then and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, a rezoning because it was an R6 zoning, and we won't allow that. So they're going to come back in, but there's also an old recorded alley in between their property. It doesn't make a ton of sense. And they've been utilizing that already, and it serves no public purpose. So it's just allowing them to actually fix the lot lines as they come into the city the right way.
Okay, sounds good. Who would like to take that? Councilor Horton, you
Sure.
can take another one if you'd like.
Sure, I can.
I was just looking down about who had one and two. I'm just trying to distribute. And then, I'm taking the public hearing. Actually, you are taking the resolution to vacate a
Yes.
portion of undeveloped. So apologies. Yes, I will open the public hearing.
And President Anderson, the owners are here, the petitioners are here. So,
Okay, great.
Right.
Thank you so much. After that, we'll have our council and mayor reports, and then back to the audience, and then we'll adjourn, and then take a look at accounts. Okay, it says briefings, accounts payable. So, Mayor, I had asked you about this today. We're gonna like to have that finance briefing.
That's going to be once a month, and we need to make the adjustment on there, so it'll have to transition. But that'll be the next. We're trying to get on the right rotation. That way, we have more data, so we can show the data better than we did last time. So the next December meeting, you'll have that report from Joseph again.
Okay, great. So 18. So do we need to take that off of briefings?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll remove it. Thank you.
Right, it goes to, and then take a look at everything else. Oh, everything else is one thing, great. So if you have any problems with that, or if you have any questions, we can talk about it. If not, we can move to our discussion item, which is the school board appointment process. And I apologize, I meant to make copies of everything that I sent out to hand out, but if you can right now, take a minute to pull up, what I sent you guys is like a synopsis of our last discussion item on this. So we'll have a starting point, and we had some decision points we need to make, if we can go through those. So if you will give me a second to pull mine up.
And President, if you don't mind, I'll adjust the agenda for the regular session just to remove items and all that stuff. So,
Perfect. And city clerk, beside each of these, writing out like exactly how they're supposed to say it. Do you know what I mean? Like normally you just give us a key at the top and we fill it in or whatever, and that's awesome. But do you mind like putting it like proclamation, 95 inch,
of
whatever.
course, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So they can just in front of it, so they know.
Until we get used to this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, let's see. Counselor Horn, hi. Like, thank you so much. Okay. So section 1, I'm really just going to go through these and let's discuss as we go, right? And you're not children, I don't have to read to you, but for the sake of everyone hearing it out loud in the workshop, I'm going to read it if you will allow me to, please. So purpose and intent, we all desire to establish a consistent, transparent, and community-aligned process for appointing members to the Trussville City School Board of Education and to implement term limits for designated autonomous boards of the city. Now, I don't know if this is the right place to talk about the autonomous board issue, Mayor, so we can save that for another day if we need to, but that was also in here just because we were also talking about when you have a process, how long is that for, and what is included if you want to re-up, etc. So this outline is based on the council workshop discussions held on 20 November 25 and incorporates feedback from council members, the mayor, and HR. Its purpose is to outline decision points for our next public workshop. This is on Tuesday, 9 December. So the review committee, we feel, should be structured to balance civic authority, educational expertise, and community representation while embedding objective evaluation and public accountability. All right, the first is the composition of the committee. So are these your notes on
Yes,
here?
Council President.
Okay, perfect. So,
Black is the original.
okay, great. I'm gonna read the original and then allow you guys to discuss, so and then I'll give it back to you, so your notes, and excellent addition there, that I've already read into the record. Great. All right,
I was wondering where you were reading it from.
Absolutely, I just threw that right in there. I just ad-libbed it right out.
Brilliant.
Yes, no, this only shows on the record that Council Burton is prepared. So, excellent work. So the composition, right, so we are going to talk about options A, B, or C as far as what the committee is made of. So the mayor's initial framework had option A as being the mayor, the council president, the council liaison to the school board, a retired educator, or retired administrator. Option B was one council member liaison only, and that was then the composition would have been the mayor, council liaison to the school board, retired educator, retired administrator, and one citizen appointed by the council. Or one former or current appointed board member from another system would have been the citizen. And option C was no council members on the committee. That was another option that was thrown around. That was mayor, retired educator, or retired administrator, or Trussville residents appointed by the council, and then is there? Okay,
Two Trussville residents.
two Trussville residents appointed by the council. Got it. Okay, great. So we had discussed that the former or current board member from another city option, which was included in B, is a little bit controversial due to residency concerns. So then I went into, is there a residency requirement? And we agreed that HR would not actually serve on the committee. They just would serve as a non-voting resource and provide support to redacting applications, record keeping, if needed, and record keeping and ensuring consistent scoring under the rubric. So right now, let's open up discussion, and you can popcorn around, whoever would like to start on how you feel about option A, option B, or option C, and hopefully we can come to consensus.
Council President.
Yes, ma'am.
Some language and some adjustment. The more I put some thought into it, had some conversation within the community. If you were to opt for option B, really on any of these options where we use the terminology retired educator or retired administrator, I would ask that we change that language to retired or former. That way the applicant pool is a little larger and it doesn't require that individual to be retired.
Okay, copy that. So it can be a formal, not a unofficially retired. Got it? Okay, anyone else? All right, how are we feeling about the options? I mean, I could go down the row and just say like A, B, or C, Councilor Clark.
I'm the more I thought about it over the weekend and over the week is I'm leaning more towards option A. And now that you've added retired or former, that actually helps solidify my decision. I knew that there was a bit of controversy with B. The only thing that I could think that would make B work is if you did have a current appointed board member with the names redacted from the resume up until the three are selected. So that would be the only way that I would actually consider B. But I'm leaning more towards A.
You're leaning towards A, okay? Councilor Horton.
Sure, just, Council President, thank you. Section 2, I just want to be clear, that's the one we're talking about, in case you guys are looking at the notes.
That we are? Sorry.
So, yeah, option A, I felt that the retired educator and retired administrator, I felt like that language was boxing me into a decision. And so I do like your, Mayor Short, your suggestion of adding in there as well. But then, even beyond that, I still think that language is restricting us. I think that possibly we should amend the language to say that those last three spots, so for option B, I'm liking option B, but amend it. and amended this way. So option B, the first place being the mayor, second position being the council liaison to the school board. And I like that one because it ensures procedural integrity and alignment with city government. And so the having a liaison to the school board, I think, is important. But then those last three spots, instead of saying a retired educator, retired administrator, and then one citizen, why aren't we restricting it to educator and administrator? What if there's a business owner that has been very involved with their city for years, or a parent that's been on PTO for 20 years who's very involved with our school and knows the ins and outs from that angle, or a leader in the community? I think that we should keep it more open. So my point is, I would like to amend those last three spots on option B to say something like one Trussville citizen appointed by the council. And notice I said Trussville citizen. That's another thing that I had an issue with when we were discussing this last time. Was I feel that having a Trussville resident is important. I feel that if we look outside the city of Trussville, for multiple reasons, I think that that's a bad idea. First off, they're not, their decisions, basically I think that they would not be subject to a selection from the board. So if the board selects somebody, that person who's not a resident, they don't have to live with that decision. And so that was one of them. The other one is, treating I like to think of Trussville as a product and our school system as a product. And the higher ranking, the better ranking our school system is, the more families want to move here, the more businesses want to move here, the more sales tax revenue we get. It's just better for the city. It's a higher quality of life because of the higher education. And so you get all these families who want to move in for that. And if we go allowing other school systems to come in here and see how our cookies are made, you don't want to show them your famous cookie dough recipe. Because then it's just, I view other cities as competitors, in a sense. And I feel that keeping it a Trussville resident is important.
So you would like to amend B, your vote is B,
Yes.
but you would like to amend it to just retired or former educator, retired or former admin, doesn't matter if they're from the Trussville system or any other system.
Maybe
Correct.
not even that.
And then,
Because-
or just educator admin, because I don't know about a current educator, current admin, or mayor, did we discuss that or no?
No, just one Trussville citizen.
No, I know that's what you said to amend the last three, and be your educator, administrator, and one Trussville
Yes.
citizen. So you had a discussion about the citizen, but are you
Yes.
saying retired or former or current educator and admin, and do they have to be from Trussville?
Yeah, I'm saying don't restrict it to an educator or a retired or former educator or admin. I'm saying leave the last three spots open to be similar to the last one. Yeah. The citizens meaning a citizen could be a former or retired educator or.
But you want to do that with all three positions? You want to say citizen, citizen, citizen?
Yes.
So wouldn't that be part of 2.2, the section 2.2, where we're talking about whether or not all committee members must be residents of Trussville?
It is, that flows into this. So yes, amending option B. And then when we get down to that, that's what I was going to recommend, that we have all the citizens be.
Right, because I do agree that everybody should be a Trussville resident. I think that they have to understand the school system and they have to be a part of it, but I get what you're saying.
So you want B as amended, but how would you feel about just B as it is right here? And the only reason I'm asking is because I think absolutely either retired or former. I just don't want to let it get too far from our three options. I mean, we can.
That's fine. As long as I wanted to make sure that the council is going to be diverse, or that the committee was going to be diverse, and that it wasn't going to be, three educators, three past teachers on there, because I think a diverse opinion is important there.
Copy that. So yeah, so would you be happy with retired or former educator, retired or former administrator, and then one Trussville citizen appointed by the council? Wide open.
As long as it doesn't restrict us, and as long as it doesn't restrict the screening committee.
That's what I'm saying. One.
As long as it doesn't restrict the university, yes, I'd be okay with that.
Right. You hear that?
Yeah, let's hear what everybody else
Yeah,
has.
is that absolutely okay?
Yeah.
Are you good, Council? We can move to Councilor Jackson or anything else. You good?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to hustle you up. I don't like being hustled myself, so Counselor Jackson, please.
Yes, thank you, Council President. Based on reading through this, I do agree that, we do need to keep this within, the residents of Trussville, especially those who have some experience with the school system. I'm leaning toward, option B seems, I think the best option. One, having the mayor and the council liaison proves integrity, as Council Court mentioned. I do like the idea of having a retired or former educator and administrator in there. I think gives some visibility and experience with looking at these resumes. Remember, this is just a screening board to look at resumes. It's not an interview. I think that's important. We keep that context of that before us. And I'm fine with. I do agree with Councilor having one citizen appointed by council. I mean, I think we got to be careful on how we look at that. And who that citizen is, and how that selection that brings. Of course, another issue to our doorstep as far as how we're going to do that. I'm fine with that part of the process, assuming we can all agree on how to appoint that person to that role, on that board. So I think that's how I would look at option B. Seems the one that I would favor at this point in time for this resume review committee.
Okay, copy that. Thank you. Any discussion on that before we move to Counselor Miller?
So, one and only thing, so y'all are completely disregarding the second half of that, right? The one former current appointed board member from another system. So we can scratch that. If we're scratching that and we're selecting one citizen at large, I'm happy with that as well. So
I think, given the context, we're just looking at resumes.
sure. No, I agree.
I think having this.
This is not the decision maker.
This is not that we are the decision board.
Right.
I mean, we're just looking at resumes here. I think that would be. I think that's a good makeup to do that process and complete that task. I think going out and trying to select a person on a board in a different city just to look at resumes, I think could be really difficult. Although I will say, it would be nice after the screening process. Then I think I'd like to see all the resumes, not just I'd like to see the ones they selected, but I think it'd be good for us, the council, to see all of them in context, along with weightings, not just the ones they selected.
So that'll be provided to you for sure.
Yes. So
I'm internally wishing we had many more meetings before we have to make this decision, because I can only imagine the discussions we're going to have on how to appoint a citizen at large.
just bringing that up.
Let's think about that, because that leaves it wide open, and so
Pandora's box.
Yeah.
it is Pandora's box, and so we do have to think about that. But while we're talking about this particular thing, and as we move through, be thinking about that if we really want to do that, or if that one citizen can come from something and we narrow it down just a little bit more, because even though we've now scratched an appointed board member from another system, the other one is wide open.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I would.
sorry.
Do we need that fourth person? I mean, we're looking at resumes after all.
Right.
I mean, is that really necessary?
Uh,
if that's going to cause a delay in the
It's
process,
the fifth person.
we need the fifth person.
And we just we can actually have 3 people or 5. We just need to have it odd,
An odd number.
so that you don't have a tie.
Okay.
Okay, Councilor Miller, thoughts?
And real quick, well, with one, I'm sorry, excuse me, Councilman Miller, just that last comment, I do think 5 is good. And looking at this, if you think that if what you're insinuating is a citizen at large, could mean that we don't have an educator and that we don't have an administrator
No.
on the screening process.
No, we'll have an educator and an administrator. I'm talking about
Person.
that fifth position is now we're saying it's at large. We
Right.
kept the educator, we kept the administrator.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that. So, and I would like to see an educator and an administrator be on there. I wanted to be clear about that.
So going back to the process for the resumes, we're going to have these people weight the resumes based on the criteria we've given them.
Correct.
So
Using
having
measures.
even number is not really that important because we're just going to see the weightings, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So I'm just.
that's true,
thinking that.
and get the top 3.
Yeah, so let's get through this and we'll give it a shot with one citizen member, and if y'all can't come to a consensus on who that person is, then we'll drop that person and we'll utilize the matrix and get from there.
Yeah, we'll move on.
So let's hear what Jim's got.
Yeah, Councilor Miller.
So just to make sure that I'm tracking, this is a committee, a selection committee, right?
Correct.
So how,
So
That's
it's
a
just the
resume
top
review
3
committee.
before
They're
they
just
come to
gonna
us
review
and
the
interview in
resumes.
front of us,
but they're gonna select the resumes that come to us,
the 3,
right?
top 3.
Mm-hmm.
They'll grade them.
So how are they gonna be appointed?
The school board member?
No, so all these members, how are we appointing them?
Right,
That's,
that's what we're saying, is
let's
that
get, let's
We've got to
get,
get this portion.
let's get this
done
portion
first,
done, and
Yeah.
then we'll,
Consider that process.
but the council will have to,
Because I would assume we have to appoint all these people.
correct.
Yes.
well,
Right.
yeah, well,
So
the three.
it doesn't really matter whether it's a citizen or not, and
Yeah.
the angst of appointing a citizen, we're appointing all of them, so it doesn't really matter. We don't have to come up with criteria for them. I don't like any of these. I think 5 is a small number. I don't think to Councilman Horton's point, it doesn't give us enough folks that we have proper representation on there, give us enough flexibility. I would like to see 7, but I know from last meeting that that's a dead deal, and that's okay. But I like Councilman Horton's position. I think 3 of those slots should be citizens. Since we're appointing, we're gonna see who's gonna apply for those committee positions, and we're gonna decide, and each of us will get the opportunity to say what's the most important to us. If 3 of us decide the most important thing is for it to be a retired educator, then it becomes a retired educator. If 3 of us want an educator that's not retired, then we'll make our case there. But I think if we just make it citizen of Trussville, then that leaves it wide open to anything other than the first 2. Now, I could compromise and say 2 of the 3 and make sure that one of the 3 definitely has some kind of footing in the education community, whether that's past or present. And present, you can have a person. We have a lot of folks that live in Trussville that don't work within our school system, and they could be on that selection committee. I don't know that I would be, if I'm looking at the folks that I would want on that committee, I don't think I'd want somebody that's currently working within the school system on that committee, just because there's a lot of conflict of interest there. But if I had my brothers, I'd follow kind of what Councilman Horton has said.
Very
Okay,
good. Thank you, Jim. Council President?
yes,
That sounds like option B based off the majority, and then obviously I'll work this through a final document to be discussed in January. But as it relates to the section 2.1, option B wins that one out. I hear the feedback and the majority, so I think I can craft a document for further conversation. The residency requirement, that's an easy one. I get the general feedback from all of you. Option A.
option A.
And then HR participation, I think we're all on board there. There's no issue there with it not being a voting member. And then everything else is related to redaction, and I'd be curious to your thoughts on that, Council President.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. And I'd also like to add in that option B was my
Sorry,
choice.
Sam.
No worries, no worries. I was gonna tell y'all whether you guys figured out. Because I'm the council. Yeah, no, the redaction, I actually I am fine with whatever the other counselors want. And the reason is because we're gonna see the final 3 in person, and that's what matters to me. So I'm fine either way, but I would caution, I have to say, I heard what the mayor said last time, and I would really caution about redacting names, because even for the committee of 5, sometimes that makes a huge difference. And I mean, you can argue it either way, but I'm open. So if I'm having to tell you, like, okay, you guys are split down the middle, I would say we do not redact names that we see who people are. But I'm also okay with it if it goes the other way against me, because we're going to see the final 3 and everyone's going to know their names. So.
Yeah, that's what I would say, Council President. The best way to meritocracy is to redact some things in the file. And I think if you redact a name, I think, yes, you do have a chance of we getting a person that is not a proponent of our school system. But those final 3 will come before us, and I think that person already knows that they're not going to make it through the final round. But it does show up that we're open to a meritocracy, and whoever is the best candidate is who comes before us.
As Council President, I somewhat agree with Jim. I do believe a partial redaction is important, simply because this is, well, relative. If we choose all residents of Trussville, It's best if we do it with non-bias, and the best way to do that is to remove names. Now, we're all gonna see those names in the end. I'd like to think that we're selecting the most qualified candidates. I know that, you know, there could be some controversy in that, but I do believe that it's important to not create a bias off the bat.
Do you know what the first controversy will be? It will be when we ask for all of the applications, even after the committee has gotten done with it and they have all the names on it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that'll be the first
Sure.
one, because we're reading it.
But I think for the selection process, I think that it's best that that committee initially not be able to see the names.
Yeah, so selection committee is fine with me. I do want to make, let me just read through the options real quick, and I apologize. I should
Oh, and I chose option B, I apologize.
Yes, okay, yeah, option B. So option A is full redaction. HR will remove applicant names before screening. Committee receives only qualifications. That means they hand us 3 people blind. We're the first ones to see the names. Obviously, we're still going on to the next phase, which is the in-person interviews. Option B is partial redaction. Names removed during scoring, and then they're restored after the top 3 selections for that. It's still inside the committee before they are given to us. They remove the names. So they score, right? Mayor, make sure I'm saying this correctly. They score it, without the names. Then within that committee, before they adjourn, they reveal the names, see who they've picked, and they can make changes as needed if they wanted to give us the final 3. Option 3 is no redaction whatsoever. Committee receives complete applications, no names redacted, no alterations, and then they make a decision like they've done in the past, where they see all the names, all the information, and make the recommendation. So that's the difference. So thank you, option B for you. Councilor Horton.
I think that option A, which is a full redaction, I think that I was thinking about this, and I believe that in today's age, I think that that's gonna not give us the best candidate. And here's why. Because it's gonna give us the best resume. There's multiple times, either with my company or other companies, I've seen resumes, and they're kind of okay. But then you meet the person, you do an interview with them, and it's fantastic. And you realize their resume is not up to par with who the person is. So if we do a full redaction, basically, it's just gonna be the best written resume, if you ask me. And I believe that it could result in the exclusion of some great candidates who didn't use AI to create their resume. The person that uses AI the best is going to have the best resume, and those are the people who are going to make it through. And we're going to miss other people, possibly older people who don't use AI, who could be fantastic.
Are you leaning towards B or C?
So definitely, so A I have a problem with.
Mhm.
B, the partial redaction, even the word redaction is kind of, I don't like it. I think that I like B, but I think we should amend it and make it confidential. I think that the screeners should be able to see all the names, but be confidential with those names until the final 3 are selected. And then those names are given to.
Confidential to what are you talking about? To the paper, or at what point?
Confidential to the public.
They wouldn't be, Mayor,
So
I don't think they would be open to the public anyway. Like, we don't publish to the public everyone who's applied.
no, that's not.
Is that-
No.
Are we doing that?
So
this time?
they are subject. So that is anytime you submit an application to the city of Trussville, that is a public record.
Oh,
So
it can be.
if anyone requests the complete list, I am obligated, the city is obligated by law to provide that to them. So I really think we're over-analyzing the redaction component. I think that they'll be able in one meeting to collectively review and analyze the data utilizing the matrix that we provide and the rubric that we provide. And so I agree with Councilor Horton. The full redaction I would be opposed to, and I say that because there are going to be potential situations where we see a resume. What if that individual has ongoing litigation with the city or the Trussville City School System, but yet they have the best resume and end up one of those applicants?
You can put that on the questionnaire. That do you have? You can put that in the questionnaire. Do you have ongoing litigation with the city?
Yeah, but they can say no, and then with a
And
full
then they
redaction, there's no
automatically,
way
if
for
you
us to.
disqualify and you bring the next person up, you have to go through the
Yeah.
process again. I think I'm completely bias will always play into everything you do, and anybody that says that they're not biased is not telling you the truth.
So Councilor Miller, you are option A.
I'm option A all the way.
Copy option A, and I'm gonna write all the way next to it, because it rhymes and it's cool. Councilor Jackson?
I can see some argument for option B, but I think, I sort of going to what Council Horton said about, it's easy to put a good resume out there. And I do think name brings character to the conversation as well. I'm fine with option C, there's no reaction, but again, like I said before, I'd like to see all the resumes come before the council regardless of whether, they were part of the top 3 or not.
We can provide the entire scoring
Yeah.
matrix for every
Yeah, I
applicant
think,
to you.
that
Again,
allows us to
public
see it
document.
all.
Just point of clarification, on option B, just to make sure that I heard it correctly, we're gonna redact the name up until they're done voting on who they, or not voting, but they're done scoring all the applicants. And then we're gonna reveal the names and whoever, and give them a chance to say, oh, we're not gonna pick that person, even though they were the most important applicant. Even though they're the best qualified applicant, just because of their name?
That's not the intention of this, and Council Anderson may want to speak more to it. I get where you came to that conclusion with what you said a moment ago, but.
Right, no, sorry, not the intention. The intention would be that they score it and that they see the names at the end. So they can actually reveal the names within that 5-person meeting to see who they've chosen to send
I'll
to us.
retract my option A all the way and go with option B.
Okay. Mayor, I'm option B.
All right, option B, very good. I think I have enough to work off of. Just do me a favor, just for the sake of time, as we work our way into this meeting, what you've defined as the autonomous boards, if you guys have any different feedback as relates to what those boards should or should not be, if you'll provide that directly to me, not in a group environment, I will make that as part of the equation.
But we can actually skip that part then,
Yep.
but section 4 I do want to read. So top 3 candidates shall appear before the full city council for public interviews. Public may observe but will not participate in questioning. Council shall not make an immediate vote following interviews, and a minimum waiting period of 2 weeks shall allow citizens to contact council members and councilors to conduct their due diligence. And that's what we got from that last.
Yeah, Council President.
Yes, sir.
I would just clean the language as it relates to a minimum waiting period of 2 weeks. I would just say, the next scheduled council meeting is when that item would come up. And then, just food for thoughts, and I'll wrap this as the top 3 candidates, but, let's just say the top candidates, in case we do have a tie on the matrix or whatever the case may be, we have to send a fourth to you, or that committee does, then we should allow that if there's something there that's close.
Okay, top candidates, and we will, everyone will provide feedback to the mayor as he's asked for autonomous boards. And then I don't know if you guys would like to talk about, term limits at this point, but we do
Council
have,
President, I got one comment on the public interview. Is there any
Yes.
reason why we should not ask the existing board member to be renewed to interview alongside the other candidates?
I thought we were at a 3rd reappointment,
Is that the plan?
but not
That-
a second reappointment.
Not on the second, on the third, they would be required to come back before you for
We want
another.
to maintain that stance.
Yes,
Okay.
I would
that would
be
be
in
my
favor.
preference.
I would be in favor of that too.
Okay.
I would be in favor of giving us the option. And the reason why I say give us the option is because there could be someone that's elected to city council that did not live in this city 5 years ago and was not a part of the initial process. And so that would give them the ability to make their case of whether or not they think that they should go for another interview like everyone else.
I hear your feedback. I disagree with it, but I can find some common ground with you as it relates to that as well, Jim.
You mean, Mr. Mayor, 80-20, 80-20.
So that's option A, option B, and option C. Option A is no second term interview. That was the mayor's proposal. If the member has served satisfactorily, they may be reappointed to a second term without a public interview. Option B was a mandatory short interview for incumbents, a brief structured interviews required for all incumbents. And option C was case by case discretion. Council may decide individually whether an interview is required. That gives us the most flexibility, but so what we're all, I hear us all saying is option A, no second term interview. That was the mayor's proposal. If the member served satisfactorily, but I think you also said something, Mayor, about putting it in there that we
The initial,
did have
the initial language was in there. and with a majority, and again, this is where I can find common ground with Councilor Miller. If on a reappointment, when it comes up on consent or on the agenda, should the council with a majority vote elect, y'all can discuss that at that point, elect to require an interview, and if the majority of you vote that way, I'm comfortable with that. So,
Just to be clear, Council President, just to be clear, that was section 6.3 that we were just discussing.
Yes,
yeah.
that is right. And then,
Again, that is if the majority, again, my preference would be that we don't, I don't like adding additional duties to y'all or me. There's enough things that we can be doing out there, but I get where you're coming from.
I think that would be with the understanding that we would do that for cause,
I'm in agreement.
I would agree with that.
so if we could add just for cause,
Cause, perfect.
because if something happens and everybody knows about it and it's on the front page of the Tribune, clearly we have to address that, right? So,
Clearly.
but we now give ourselves a reason to say, for cause, you need to come and interview again. We have some questions we need to ask you, like, why did you do that?
Council President,
Yes, sir.
I would kindly ask that we cover the term limit component at the next council meeting so we can move into our council agenda.
I agree.
Copy that. And the effective date will also change. I want to say, unless there's, I just want to shore that up real quick because clearly we'd like to have one more discussion, which would be the 18th of December. Normally, under the normal process, applications would open 1 January and close at the end of the month. Now we're looking at the first meeting in January to actually vote on a final. So, Mayor, that would be the 13th.
Correct.
Okay, so just keep that in mind, and then we'll make sure that we give all the applicants, any new applicants, the same number of weeks to apply. We'll just kind of speed that up. So,
Council President,
yes,
can we just make a slight amendment and have, instead of three, have three and runner-up applicant, that come before the committee?
I think he
That are
would.
selected? Did you say that already?
It wasn't in the runner-up form, but if there was a top, like if there was something close
Yeah,
from a
just
matrix
an
scoring
option.
I wouldn't
standpoint.
say that. I would just
Bring
say like
forward.
three and an alternate, and that way if something happens, like we reveal and we don't like those three choices, we have, a runner-up.
Yeah,
Or if one of
so
them,
we're
one
gonna,
of them can't do it, we have a runner-up already picked, we have to go back through the process.
they'll all be ranked, so you'll know where they all fall, and so you can go down that line and that list, and so if you decide you want more than three and you see, number 5 is there, that we'll rank them all and you'll be provided that.
Perfect, thank you.
All right.
Council President, I just have one quick housekeeping thing on that. Mayor Short, if it's possible or if we could possibly include a conflict of interest disclosure for the screening committee, just
Fair.
the call in there.
That gets very complicated when everyone in Trussville knows everyone in Trussville, but I will consider it to see what I can do.
Nobody
to
knows
address that. All right.
All right, copy that. No more discussion. I will close the workshop and I'll give a 5-minute recess just because I need to sign something. And actually, is 5 minutes okay? Or no, let's just say we will start back at 6:15. Thanks. have prayer tonight by Counselor Horton and the pledge by Counselor Miller, if you'll stand.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come together in this great city. Thank you for allowing us to serve. Please be with us as we're making decisions for the city and make sure that all of our decisions honor you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
This flag, salute, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, will you please call the roll?
President Anderson.
Here.
Counselor Farr.
Here.
Counselor Horton.
Here.
Counselor Jackson.
Here.
And Counselor Miller.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Next, we are consider the minutes. I hope you've had a chance to take a look at the November 20 agenda workshop and regular session. Any discussion on those items? Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Council President,
Yes, Mayor.
I do have one change. There's a line, city clerk, that says the current 2040 plan has been around for nearly 20 years. It needs updating. That actual quote was the city's comprehensive master plan, not the 2040. So if you would make that adjustment.
I will do that. Good catch. Thank you.
Okay, great. With that correction, I will now entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we have the approval of our regular agenda. You'll see the items that we discussed in the workshop. If there's no discussion on that, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion that we approve the regular agenda.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we'll go to public comment.
Nobody signed up.
Okay, great. If you change your mind and we cover something you'd like to make a comment on, you'll have another opportunity at the council meeting. So thank you. We'll get right into our regular agenda. First up, we have Counselor Miller with a proclamation declaring Wreaths Across America.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to add into or make a proclamation declaring Wreaths Across America Proclamation 2025-23 by voice vote.
Thank you, Counselor Miller. Would you like to read the proclamation for us?
Sure.
Thank
The
you.
proclamation. Whereas the city of Trussville recognizes that our freedom is not free and that many members of our military have proudly served our nation, some returning to dedicate themselves to their families and community, some bearing the scars of battle, and some having paid the ultimate price of their lives that we might live in the land of liberty. And whereas the nonprofit Wreaths Across America organization has set a lofty goal of placing a wreath on the grave of every military veteran in the United States in recognition of their military service and endeavors to speak the name of each person as the wreath is laid, that their name and their service not be forgotten. And whereas Wreaths Across America Day is celebrated on the second Saturday in December, following this year on December 13th, 2025. And whereas the American Legion Post 205 is the Wreath Across America sponsor in Trussville area and will assist scores of volunteers in laying wreaths, including myself, on the 1,500 graves in Trussville, including the 4 killed in action graves from the recent wars. And whereas the city of Trussville supports this noble cause and encourages our citizens and our businesses to contribute to this endeavor as an act of respect and appreciation of our military men and women. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the City Council and the City of Trussville, Alabama, that the second Saturday in December shall be and is proclaimed Wreaths Across America Day.
Thank you so much. So I have a motion to approve Proclamation 2025-23 Wreaths Across America. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion or any opposed? Hearing none. Thank you so much. And would we like to make a presentation? I think yes. Do we want to put it in a?
I can frame it up after the meeting if that's the pleasure of the council.
Perfect. Thank you so much. John Griscom is here, and he is always heading up Wreaths Across America. Mr. Griscom, would you like to say anything?
Pardon?
Would you like to say anything about Wreaths Across America?
Yes.
we're gonna kick off at, Justice Memorial on Saturday at 11 o'clock. We're expecting to have, 1,100 wreaths that will be delivered tomorrow. And, we also have some for the Trussville City Cemetery, so.
Fantastic.
And
Thank you so
I
much.
would like to present this certificate of appreciation to Trussville for
Oh,
their support of Wreath Across America.
thank you so much. Well, please come out. We'll do a double presentation. Get a picture.
Well, trade. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's yours. Come on in.
Three. 1, 2, 3. More. 1, 2, 3.
I like how silent y'all are. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll wait. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. The next thing on our agenda is ordinance to establish a city mural ordinance. We have Councilor Horton.
This is ordinance 2025-37-81. And Mayor Short, would you like to say something about this ordinance?
Sure. So this ordinance originated as a project from Leadership HT. We have some of their students here. So excited to finally see this come to fruition. It's been a long journey to get here. So thank you for all the work that you put into it. But this ordinance will provide a mechanism in which we can do murals throughout the city. It provides design guidelines and provides a process which requires you to go through a design review. So we didn't have anything on the books. We have two folks in here that helped greatly in the original mural, one of our first ones at the library, but it's good to have something in place so we can have more murals put throughout the city in a good way. So thank you for all the work that you put into this, and excited to hopefully see them vote this in, and maybe you'll get an A in class. We'll see.
No pressure. No pressure at all. Councilor.
With that said, I move to suspend the rules to consider ordinance 2025-37-80M.
I have a motion to suspend the rules. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. President Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Farr.
Yes.
Counselor Horton,
Yes.
Counselor Jackson.
Yes.
And Counselor Miller.
Yes.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Oh, I move to approve ordinance 2025-37-80M.
I have a motion to approve the ordinance. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. City Clerk, please call the roll.
President Anderson.
Yes.
Counselor Farr.
Yes.
Counselor Horton,
Yes.
Counselor Jackson.
Yes.
And Counselor Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations. And thank you. Next, we have an ordinance to declare certain IDA property surplus and approve its sale to B4 Development LLC. This will be a first reading. Councilor Farr.
Yes, I move that this is a first reading only, and I don't believe I'm supposed to move that, so.
That's okay. You just actually go into reading.
Yeah, okay. Well, excuse me. Hold on one moment.
And Council President,
Yes.
she since that we have published this to the public, she doesn't have to read the entire thing. If she'll just put the address out there and the intention, and that's reminding you, I think that'll suffice. So you don't have to read the legal description of all.
Once you do it, we can also call on you, Mayor, if you'd like to say anything about it.
Sure.
Perfect, thank you. So, this is ordinance 2025, there's no number here,
038.
038.
Sorry,
No.
no number yet.
No number yet, dash ADM, to declare this certain city IDA, which is the Industrial Development Authority, property surplus and approve its sale to B4 Development LLC. It's an ordinance declaring certain real property owned by the city of Trussville as surplus and approving its sale to B4 Development LLC. This is within the industrial park. It is at approximately 34 acres in the Payne Industrial Park area, by the, what is that, the chicken plant?
Correct.
So it's near the chicken plant.
Thank you, Councilor Farr. Mayor, would you like to add anything?
I think she's covered it. It does come with a positive recommendation from IDA, and this will be a first reading, and, like I said, we'll make sure it's published out there. It is, so you can see all the details, and we'll take it up at the next meeting.
Perfect. So that is a first reading only. We will have the second reading plus discussion and vote at our next council meeting. Thank you so much. Next, we're moving on to an ordinance to annex 4380 Valley Road. This is Councilor Jackson.
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion, we suspend the rules, consider ordinance 2025-038 for an annexation and to achieve unanimous consent.
Thank you. I have a motion to suspend the rules. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. City Clerk, please call the roll.
President Anderson.
Yes.
Counselor Farr.
Yes.
Counselor Horton.
Yes.
Counselor Jackson.
Yes.
And Counselor Miller.
Yes.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-038, annex the property at 4380 Valley Road into the city of Trussville. It'll be zoned light industrial. It did come from planning and zoning with a positive review. So I'd like to make that motion approved.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? City Clerk, please call the roll.
President Anderson.
Yes.
Counselor Farr.
Yes.
Counselor Horton.
Yes.
Counselor Jackson.
Yes.
And Counselor Miller.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance passes. Next, we have a resolution to vacate a temporary construction easement on Husky Parkway. This is also Councilor Jackson.
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 2025-67 to vacate this temporary easement that was done back in 2006 to return it back to the property owners.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion or any further discussion from what we had in workshop from the council?
I'm just glad the temporary part is coming to a close after 20 plus years.
Perfect. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Resolution passes. Next, I have a resolution to declare various library assets as surplus. This is Councilor Farr.
Yes, Council President, I move to approve Resolution 2025-68 to declare various library assets surplus. So this resolution is authorizing the mayor to declare various library items as surplus assets and to sell, convey, or otherwise dispose of the same in accordance with resolution ordinances pertaining to surplus property.
Great, thank you. So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on these items? None heard. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we have a resolution to declare an inspection in department vehicle as surplus. This is Councilor Miller.
Council President, I move to approve resolution 2025-69, a resolution to declare an inspection department vehicle as surplus.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? It is a 2002 Chevy Trailblazer. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Resolution passes. Next, I'll open a public hearing regarding the proposed vacation of an undeveloped segment of Aniston Avenue and related rights-of-way. The public hearing is now open. Do I have anybody here to speak for or against? Nothing heard. I will close the public hearing. And then I have a resolution to vacate a portion of undeveloped Aniston Avenue. Councilor Horton.
Yes, thank you, Council President. I move to approve resolution 2025-70.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Resolution passes. Next, we will move into council and mayor reports. First up, we have Councilor Horton, Tree Commission, Utilities, Public Safety, and Design Review.
I'm in between meetings on most of mine. Tree Commission, we ordered 42 trees, and we're going to be replanting those in January. So we're excited about getting those trees replanted and preserved. That's it.
Thank you, Councilor Horton. Councilor Jackson is next with Finance, Active Transportation, Planning and Zoning, Inspections, and Downtown Redevelopment.
Council President, we're going to elect to roll my report to the next meeting next week.
Thank you, Councilor Jackson. Next is Councilor Miller with Veterans, ACTA, Historical, and Senior Citizens.
Same for me, Council President. I'm going to roll mine to next week.
Thank you, Councilor Miller. Next is Councilor Farr, Library, IDA, Parks and Recreation, Chamber, and Public Works.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to roll to next week, other than mentioning that the Christmas parade is Saturday at 2.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilor Farr. I have Finance, Cemetery, Beautification, Board of Education, and Leadership Trussville. And besides mentioning that tomorrow is Government Day for Leadership Trussville, we would love for not tomorrow, I apologize, it's Thursday. Don't panic. Thursday is Government Day. We would love to see all of you there. And then also, what a great time was had opening up the Roberts Stadium for softball. It was wonderful. I want to thank the past council and mayor and all of you I saw most of you went out to support the opening, so thank you for that. And with that concludes my report. Mayor, I'll turn it over to you for administration.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to have a more detailed report. A lot of changes, a lot of good things happening in the city of Trussville, but I will report on those next week since we're only a week away now.
No, that sounds great. As a reminder to the public, our next meeting is December 18th, and it will also be a combined meeting. The workshop will start at 5:30 with the council meeting beginning directly after that. Next, we'll go back to the audience, 2 minutes each. Is there anyone who would like to say anything? Mr. F.
Very good.
If Mr. Epstein does not have anything to say, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So maybe.
Thank you.